Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt.
I believe what's being called Gamergate 2.0 began right here with heel versus babyface. I believe that when Az was shouting about pronouns and how it ruined the immersive experience of playing Starfield, the rest of us were woken up to the idea that this DEI thing had gotten way, way, way out of control. What began as an effort by these people to cash in on government available funds to DEI-ify video games as a whole has now grown into a suffocating experience in gaming. And such, we ended up with the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam Curator page, now available at deidetected.com. And when Kabrutus started this, he was following along with what Az had started, that this DEI compliance stuff makes gaming very difficult. In a lot of cases, you end up spending a lot of money while getting a very unimpressive gaming experience in return. And this news, this list started on January 29th, kicked off a flame war across the internet about this subject. There were people from all kinds of different industries, semi-related even to gaming, not even in the heart of it, that came out in defense of Sweet Baby Inc., Take This, and so many other DEI compliance agencies that come into these game developer spaces, right? They come into these developer spaces and they say, you must this, you must that, and you must this other thing, or you are racist, sexist, or some type of phobic. Right? And we even listened to the owner, the CEO, president of Sweet Baby Inc., explaining that if you can't get a gaming developing group to go along with it, you threaten them, that you'll accuse them of being racist, that you offered them your services, and when they turn that down, that's an indication that they're alt-right, or for God forbid, they wear a red hat to political rallies. And ever since then, there's been this need, right? Since Sweet Baby Inc. got exposed as being not so great for gaming. And in fact, we've seen many other gaming studios go out of business who have been influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. There are recent games that sank their studios, in fact, were influenced by Sweet Baby Inc. So this is where we're at, is that these people have been exposed for the mistakes or perhaps malicious intent that they applied to their work, and now they want revenge. You might be wondering why everybody and their brother gives a damn about Stellar Blade. It's not like it's revolutionary gaming, and that's not an offense to the developers. It follows along a traditional over-the-shoulder horror game, sci-fi, sort of cyberpunk game. It's very fun, move-aroundy, and the main character, Eve, has a lot of jiggly bits. And that's been a point of contention for a great deal of people who were very, very passionate about their support of Sweet Baby Inc. And so they've been on this warpath to try and frame Stellar Blade as this evil, over-sexualized, dehumanizing, objectifying thing that only rewards sexists and racists and people who vote for the wrong people, you know? And that's what has led IGN to go through the game tooth and nail to find graffiti that suggests racism. It's not even direct racism. After developer Shift Up promises that Stellar Blade will release uncensored, Sony patches out in-game graffiti art following accusations of racism. Just like that. Now, again, you may not think this is a big deal, but they promised an uncensored game, and ta-da, it ended up being censored on, its very first week of release. How about that? And there will probably be more things that will be complained about that the corporation will bend to because, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This multi-billion-dollar entity can't afford, apparently, to make people who eat cat food because they can't pay for rent unhappy. The people that are not buying their game. How about that? Now, you may be wondering, what was the great offense that caused Sony to have to, smear pie all over, egg all over Shift Up's face on this one, right? Well, it's hard R. It's not even a hard R. It's the insinuation of hard R, and it's not even directly spelled out. It's graffiti in hard, and then the store is R over there. Again, this is a Korean-developed game, so I will let you know that they're probably in on the joke of what hard R means. And hard R is meant to be a replacement for a racial slur. That's right. Now, I defy you to go through any city in the United States, perhaps Canada and Mexico too, and find graffiti on the walls that doesn't feature hard R. There's a lot of soft A's, but there's a lot of hard R's too. Okay? Now, this is clearly meant to be a joke about that. This is clearly meant to be, haha, we put a little wink and nod in here to graffiti you would find on a back alley with scum growing on the tiles of the walls. The neon is blinking. There's trash everywhere. The sidewalk is crumbling. This isn't exactly where, like, a school is. This isn't high-value real estate, if you will. There's a reason why this very dated graffiti is in there, right? But no, IGN decided this was such a big deal, and they reached out for a comment. Well, hey, Mr. Sony, why did you go and put some racism in your, flippy whippy Asian girl story, huh? Why'd you put some hatred in your video game about that cyberpunk horror weird stuff, huh? Why'd you do that? A leading question that the only answer has to be, I didn't know that we put racism in our video game. We will immediately take care of this. Because that's how, corporations talk, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so they did. They did. And Kotaku, of all people, were the ones that found it. And guess what they changed hard R to? They changed it to crime. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sink in, right? Like, think about it for a minute, right? Like, I observed the hilarity behind this. The developers were clearly like, you're serious. We have somebody, this is an equivalent for them. This is the same thing as using the actual word up on there, even though that would be spray painted on a city just like this, on the walls of a city just like this. The hard R, the actual word, not the joke, right? And I appreciate that they replaced that with, okay, so it was a crime to put that on the wall. So now we're just going to put crime in its place. A crime happened here. And what I like about it is that it's outlined in white. And for me, I see like a chalk outline of a body, right? Like for me, it just seems like you know what happened here. That's what that graffiti says to me is developers like, fine, you want to change? Here, we're going to make sure that everybody knows what it means when they come around to this. Because it's just random. Like, who would spend time writing crime up on the wall? They'd like, crime is cool. Crime is better than school. Crime for life. Instead, it's just crime. Or worse, crimer. Crime R? Creamer? Cremer. Right? It doesn't make any other sense other than just being a standalone word that acts like a chalk body outline of what once was. Yep, and that's where we are today. That these people have become so obsessed with getting revenge, taking something back, getting the high ground again. We've got to get these racist, sexist, obophobes, whatever you're a phobe of. I don't know what an oboe did. But anyway, you got to get the higher ground on these people. And so they thought they had it here with, oh no, they put a euphemism for the hard R word in their video game. We'd better report it and get all sorts of virtue signal points. But it backfired. It turns out the shift up turned it into a joke. And I'm glad for it. I'm glad that that's going to be there for the lifetime of Stellar Blade to remind everybody of when a corporation couldn't have a laugh. That's right. That was hurting nobody. Nobody out there was going to look at that and think I'm lesser of a person because a stylized word hard is next to a neon letter R in a back alley of a video game about a flippy whippy Asian girl in a cyberpunk horror setting or whatever goes on in Stellar Blade, man. I'm just so, just blows my mind that someone spent all this time and that's the best they could come up with in this game. Think about that, right? They went through this game with the tooth and nail trying to find something. And the best they could come up with was stylized hard next to a neon R in a back alley that otherwise you would have cruised right by and not noticed. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right? This is the world we live in, though. When you create a curator page to help people avoid wasting their money on games that they already know they're not going to like because a corporation that warps everything they touch is involved. Wow, that's World War III, man. We got to blow the doors off of these people. We need revenge. And the best they could do was hard R, but it's not, it's just hard R. It's amazing. It's amazing. It reminds me of like a little sister, little brother situation, right? Like you're gonna have one of the siblings tell on the other one a tattletale thing. Like, oh, he put the hard R on the refrigerator, Dad. You better spank him. He put the hard R. Then you find out it's just word magnet letters. It just says hard, and then the R is like sideways, sideways over there. That's all this is. That's it. That's all it is. Oh well. All I can tell you is that go out and buy Stellar Blade if you want to. If you don't, that's great. There's other games out there that don't have Sweet Baby Ink's influence that are available for sale right now, and they're on their way as well. You can go over to Steam and check out that curator page or DEIdetected.com. It's available right now, influenced by Kabrutus, and I believe Grums is also at least advising, if not contributing over there. So feel free to check that out. The link to that will be in the description below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Good luck out there.